Okay, people, we are back. It's another Under the Lens Views on Sport. And today, I'm very happy to introduce my bro, Liverpool fan, by the way, Footy Reacts TV. How you doing, my friend? This is your Under the Lens.
I'm well, man. I'm doing well. And yourself?
Yeah, man. Yeah, as we were saying a little bit backstage, just getting on with life. But Arsenal, Arsenal's not giving me too much to be happy about. But yeah, other than that, man, other than that, I am good, and I hope you're well, and I hope you're well, and I big you up, and I thank you ever so much for coming onto the platform. The
All right,
second
bro.
guy officially to ever give me a raid. Let me give you one more air horn. You know what I mean? Big up Footy Reacts. We are going to get into it. This is your Under the Lens. I'm just going to shout out a few people in the chat before we start. People are coming flying in, and I know that's from my absolute brother. That is Shane. Shane, good. Here he is. Yasser, my man. The legend. That is Shane Gooner. Big up Shane each and every time. Make sure you're subscribing to the bro. Make sure you're going to watch Full Irish on Playback. You're all probably subscribed anyway. So big up the legend. That is Shane. Thank you for the raid, my bro. Yeah, man, we got a Liverpool fan in the building, so we're gonna get into it. Yassa's in the building as well. Chelsea fan, big yourself up, my bro. I appreciate you. Smash the likes, subscribe to Yassa. Big up Wahaha, said good day views. Big up, thank you for passing through. Big up the chat. AFC North London, Shane Raid, AJ, my bro, Shane Raid. I appreciate it. Here comes the legend himself. Smash those likes, people. We're gonna get into it, man. Man said, "Raw, I'm in the intro." Yeah, bro. Everyone. I mean, I'm probably gonna have to do another video. Someone told me it's too long. Maybe I'm gonna have to shorten it down. I'm gonna have to just pay for someone to do it because obviously the boomer trying to do editing is not any good. Big up Kwaja. Big up views, my guy. As I said, big up the legend that is Shane. Thank you, my bro, for the raid. It's always appreciated. Big up AJ every time. Like the stream, people. Like the stream. You know the deal. Let's try and get minimum 20 to 30 likes. We've got Mr. Waffle in the building, Sean Raid. That's what they call Shane. Big up, Shane. Enjoyed the channel. Yeah, man. Big up, man. Make sure everyone's subscribing to everyone. Big up everyone that's passing through. If you got any questions for my guest on Liverpool, on him or whatever, get them in the chat. Please put a Q by it so we know that it's a definite question. Which snooker player is views? Oh, leave it out. Big up Luke Star Killer saying big up views. Hope everyone's doing good today. Big up Kwaja. Like I said, man, just giving the quick salutes before we get into this. The Phoenix, big up views. Welcome on in. Big up, man. Yasser said subbed. Big up. Let's all sub to my guest. His name is sorry, just click his name and you will go to his channel. Footy Reacts, definitely Joe O'Connor. Look, here we go. The chat's already starting. I mean, are you a snooker fan, by the way, bro?
I've probably watched like maybe one game of snooker in my life. And that's just due to my granddad, you know.
Bro, like I know about Ronnie, you know what I mean? And what's his other get? What's his name? Was it Hendry or some other guy? Bro, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's not really my thing. But big up everyone. Big up Topside Highbury in the building. Shane Achilles, Flick Raid. Big up Shay, man. Each and every time. Luke's bigging up Kwaja. Big up, man. Each and every one. Smash the like. Subscribe to my guest. Show love, people. We're about to get into it, man. I normally like to start by asking my guests how they first got into their club. Obviously, I hope you don't mind me you saying you're a young fan, and I like to have people from all walks of life because especially in the Arsenal fan base, people seem to think it's only the younger fans that ain't got a clue, but that's not the case. There's loads of all shapes and sizes. But how did you get into your team, my bro? Like, when did you first get into it? And then maybe give us like a good and a bad memory, bro.
So I started supporting Liverpool mainly due to my granddad and that, and through my dad as well.
Right.
So I didn't really kind of like have a choice but to support Liverpool. Like most kids grow up these days dreaming of wanting to support like Madrid, United. For me, it was simply only Liverpool. When I was born, I was actually funny enough born into like a Liverpool baby, like them baby growing things you get.
Yeah.
You're born. So I was born into one of those. So ever since then, I've supported Liverpool from a young age, like 4 or 5. Obviously, getting to watch them on TV, going to Anfield and stuff. I've loved the club ever since, man. It's my passion ever since I was born.
Yeah.
There's like families first, family and friends are first, Liverpool second, and then the rest just completely follows.
Yeah.
Good and bad memories with the club. to your question, I'll start with the good one. Probably about a month ago when we played Tottenham, I was at Anfield against Tottenham when we won the league.
5-0, yeah.
Honestly, unbelievable feeling, man. I was going to that game thinking, how am I going to react? Because I thought, yeah, Tottenham ain't doing shit today,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And obviously the full-time whistle went, and I'm just like hugging strangers, crying to random people. Bare people are crying and stuff.
Wicked.
Because a lot of people, like under the age of 30, wouldn't have seen Liverpool lift a league title without fans. Because obviously due to COVID and stuff.
2020, yeah.
So like I was in year 10 when Liverpool won the league, so I couldn't even celebrate with alcohol, let alone like go up to Anfield or anything like that. So then like just celebrating with my granddad and stuff, and it was emotional because obviously like it was 20 years since my dad passed away as well.
Sorry
So
to hear
because my dad passed away a few days after I was born, so
Sorry
like
to hear that, man.
it's one of the reasons why I'm like so passionate about my club and stuff.
Bro.
And obviously, that for me is the greatest memory I'll ever have. Liverpool could go and win a quadruple. They could go and win back-to-back, anything like that. Nothing will ever top that memory because of my dad, with my granddad and stuff like that. So for me, that memory will never be topped. Worst memory? I'll probably say FA Cup final 2012. We lost against Chelsea. First time in my life Liverpool got to a final. I was like full kit. I was like 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
Dead excited. And then we lost in the final against Chelsea. That's certainly up there. Other ones, I'll probably say the Kiev final when we lost in the Champions League final.
Yeah.
Karius mistakes.
Yeah.
There's been a few bad memories. Like the Gerrard moment, funny enough, happened on my birthday.
The slip on your birthday.
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of people, I always speak to people about that because I was like, oh my God, we could win the league. And then your club legend does that on your birthday. And it's like no, because my mate every year, he always sends me happy birthday. Then he'll always send me like a little clip of Gerrard, as like a joke. And like it happens every year, but it's banter now. But
yeah,
there's definitely been some horrible moments. But for me, that moment a month or two ago, I'll never forget.
Yeah.
I remember it for a very long time.
Yeah, big up, man, and big up for that. And congratulations for another title, man. To be, 20 years old and to have seen 2 leagues. I mean, that's for many a young fan. If you support any London clubs, then you know what I mean. You're not gonna really have those kind of feelings. And you know what I mean. Like I said, I was like I think I was 21 in 2004 when we last won it, and like. Do you know what I mean? Like those feelings, I can remember them, but they're not as vivid as last month. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So absolutely blinding. Do you mind if I ask whether whether you live in Liverpool or whether it don't matter? I'm always interested to know.
Yeah, so I live about an hour away or so from Liverpool.
Yeah.
As to right now, I'm currently at uni. So once I've done with the uni and stuff like that, I do plan to move back there, but mainly due to because my granddad he suffers with Alzheimer's.
Oh,
and I don't mind like talking about these sort of things because it's quite what I'm passionate about. So he currently lives in Liverpool, and I want to help him and stuff. Obviously, once I've done with my uni course, so I plan to like obviously take care of him and stuff. So the plan is to obviously move to there in about a year or two. And plus, I want to evolve my channel so much I can do more content in and around the city of Liverpool. Maybe do more vlogs and stuff like that, fan cams. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I am gonna obviously ask you about your channel and what you look to do for the future and what people can expect. But I did want to just kind of know, like I said, it doesn't matter, but it's interesting to know, and I do appreciate what you said about your dad. I mean, obviously I didn't lose mine when I was born. I lost mine 2023, but he was the major reason why I support Arsenal, why I'm so passionate about my club, negative or whatever you want to say. But that's how so I can relate to that, you know what I mean? So big up for that, and thank you for sharing, bro. You don't have to. But I appreciate it, man. This is a safe space. Do you know what I mean, for everyone? So big up, and let me
I
give
don't
you.
mind sharing about these sort of things.
No,
Really.
no. Let me just
Like,
give you a round of applause. 1 second.
big up, bro.
Because obviously doing something like that at a young age as well, being selfless to go and then look after your granddad, like that's all you can hope for. See me as an uncle now. All I can hope is that, you know what I mean, I've done a good enough job with my kids that one day when I can't wipe my own ass and things like that, they're going to come and help me. And so that's commendable for someone of such a young age. And obviously, I hope you do well in uni as well. What are you studying, bro?
So I'm doing sports journalism.
Wicked, wicked, wicked. But if you do become a journo, don't become anything like these UK journos over here that don't ask the tough questions, especially to my gaffer.
Oh, no.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that, my bro. Cool. I'll move on. I'll try and get my questions out the way, and then we'll kind of vibe with the chat and kind of bring up anything you want to talk about. There's loads of stuff for you to be happy about. But tell me where your club's at, my guy. I think we all know it, but let me hear it from you. Where's your club at? What's the goals next season? You know what I mean? What's the plan for Liverpool?
We're in a brilliant place. Arguably the best place in some time. And I think you can only arguably rival that under the time under Jurgen Klopp. Mainly due to the fact is we've just won a Premier League, spending no money, walked the league by some point, and we've just made 3 good quality signings. 2 of them walk into our team in Kirkes and Florian Wirtz. There's obviously, rumours about Alexander Isak, touch wood, hope and pray. Although I did just see something about Gyökeres with Liverpool, so I don't know. I've always said I'll take Gyökeres, but I don't think he goes to Liverpool or Arsenal. But that's another topic. But we're in a brilliant place. Just walked the league. We've just come back off an unbelievable season, season where everyone wrote us off.
Yeah.
Every single YouTuber said we're finishing 5th, 6th. You're falling off to Jurgen Klopp. Made no signings. This and that. And Arne Slotter's just coming in his first season, walked the league, while having pressure, by the way. People thinking he's had no pressure at the football club. He has.
Yeah.
He's had to replace arguably the greatest manager in recent time at Liverpool. Definitely the one in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And you're having to deal with the contract situation on and off the pitch, which has been a massive talking point that everyone's spoken about. Every single interview, he's been asked, can you give us an update on Virgil van Dijk, Salah, and Trent? Having to deal with all that sort of stuff. So people thinking he's not had no pressure. This is where the pressure will start to mount. Now it's second season. No, because he's had pressure from the first season. He had to replace Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's like someone coming in and replacing Sir Alex. You've seen that, how that's gone.
Yeah.
Same with Arsene Wenger.
Yeah.
And Arne Slot's coming in his first season and absolutely walked to the league, got to a League Cup final, took arguably the best team in Europe to a penalty shootout, by the way. So I couldn't ask for much more. To say we've made no signings, and Chiesa obviously doesn't, we're not counting Chiesa, like realistically. That was a club signing.
Yeah.
He's barely played all season. Martin Zubimendi was the only signing that we actually tried to get. Other than that, and Anthony Gordon. Other than that, the club felt like we was ready to go again.
Yeah.
And last summer, all our fans were in meltdown, thinking, "Oh my God, we're not making no signings. What are we doing?" And I was just telling people need to relax. This team alone is a good team. This team was in a title race for 30 games the previous season. They won a trophy in a League Cup. So it's not like this team finished 5th, did terrible in all the cups and stuff. We won a trophy, which is the aim of elite sport, is to win a trophy. And we was in a title race for 30 plus games. The only reason we fell off and didn't win the league is because we had the likes of Salah injury. We had a lot of injuries that season, and the team was just overall, it was dead on its arse. It was knackered.
Right.
And that's where Arne Slot comes in, and all he thought was, look, I could work with something here, make a few changes around the football club, etc. There's no point me bringing in loads of players now when maybe potentially in a year's time I might want to change the way I play football, and those players aren't going to be accustomed to that.
Right.
So I always believed in the project that people like to use these days. And it's come to fruition. and we're on an unbelievable stage. And for me, for the first time, I believe we actually are going to go back to back.
Yeah, you're definitely moving like that. So it's pretty fair to say that that is the aim next season, because that's what it that's what the intentions look like. We didn't see that in 2020 from Liverpool, so it's a huge turnaround. As an Arsenal fan, I'm sitting there like, well, you lot have got FSG, we've got KSC, both American, both pretty tight when they want to be. But Liverpool, I've always said it, when you need to spend it, you don't do that every summer, but when you do need to spend the money, you genuinely kind of identify the best players, get them, and then they serve you for years to come. Salah, Van Dijk, Allison, still serving you now, still winning you trophies. But it is pretty, it's pretty amazing the turnaround that Liverpool from buying just Chiesa last season to going mad this season. That surely must be the aim, back to back now, surely.
Aim to go back to back, and for me, obviously go further in every single competition. I'm not one of these people where I push little cups aside and stuff like that. Liverpool was once a cup team.
Yeah, yeah.
Arsenal once a cup team.
Bread and butter, man.
So
yeah,
I'm not one of these fans where I'm like, it's just the Premier League and champs. Bun the rest. Who gives a fuck? Like, it's just them two. I want to win every single game. Yeah, at times, prioritize over competitions at times, of course. But the aim for every squad, if you build it correctly, you should be able to challenge on all fronts.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Because with my manager, he's like he struggles to challenge on just one front, let alone more than one. What strikes me about your manager from day one is how just competent he was. That's the word I use, because I didn't know a lot about him. I didn't even know he was an ex-player, like most people. So, and I was obviously watching Monts and other Liverpool fans having emergency meetings when you got slot. No one. So yes, you're right. YouTubers, we was all right, and I weren't directly writing Liverpool off. I was just like, well, it's an unknown. I expect them to be in and around it. If they're not second, they're third. That's what I kind of had going into this season. And of course, you lot walked it, like you said. But that's the one thing that struck me from the off, is how competent this guy was, because I feel like he fine-tuned the rock and roll football from Klopp. He told Salah, you don't have to track back. It's like his minute management's quite good. He just does the right things, and I didn't know nothing about him. I mean, you must be over the moon with what he's doing, and surely the man to take you forward for years to come, in your opinion.
Yeah, 100%. And I've said for a long time, it's not about the managers. It's about what's above the football club, the hierarchy, the structure. If the foundations and the structure are good and correct, more time a manager will come in and do well. For example, like, look at all the Man United managers that they've had. Some of those are good managers. They've just not had good foundations nor good structures at the football club. Liverpool have a very good structure and a very good foundation at the football club, and that's one thing that a lot of people forget. When we make signings, they hardly flop for a start. And we brought in Mike Edwards, the guy that everyone talks about, the original behind the plan when it comes to the signings. Richard Hughes, a lot of people gave him stick, but he's done brilliantly this window.
Killing it, yeah.
And the one thing I've always given FSG credit for, maybe in terms of spending and the ambition side, they can be at fault. But when it comes to the safety of the football club, and with like PSR and obviously in Des and stuff like that, making sure the foundations are actually good at the club, they've always done well. It took them a few years to get going, but once they got going, hence why we've not gone down from winning trophies ever since Klopp's come in. Do you know what I mean? Wow. And that's one thing a lot of people kind of forgotten about when it came to our foundation and our structure at the club. So that's why I was never really concerned.
Yeah. I mean, and at the end of the day, actions are always, louder than words. So we're seeing the actions. This is what we wanted to see from our club. Otherwise, me and other sections of my fan base feel like we're going to get left behind. And I feel like we're now closer to Chelsea and Newcastle than we are to Liverpool and City. I think it's going to be City pull back again for next season. So and bear with me, chat. We are going to get back into the chat in a minute, but you know how it is. We like to ask the questions to the guests first. Please bear with me. Please get your questions in the chat, and we will get to that soon. And we are going to follow this live up with an intervention. So if any of you guys want to come up and have your say about what's going on, then please do. But back to you, my bro. Obviously, where everything's so great at the moment, I normally ask, if you had the magic wand, what three things would you change at the club? But I don't know. I feel like that's a bit of a silly question now, because everything's kind of going swimmingly for you. Like, I mean, is there still anything that you would change if you could?
Not necessarily. Yes, there actually. The one thing I would say that is a concern at the club only. A lot of people will know is the contract situation. The contract regime needs to change, in my opinion. Letting players go down to the 1 or 2 years of their contracts. Now, I will let Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and Trent Alexander-Arnold become a free pass, because that's under the previous regime. Okay, I can't expect them to do everything all in a couple of weeks and months. So what matters is we managed to get our two most important players tied down to a new contract. That's all that matters. But we're seeing your Kanates run them down, etc. This is where, like, now I expect the regime to kick in and actually learn and get these players. A football club as size of Liverpool shouldn't be letting their best players get down to, let alone 2 years. Now, forget even 1 year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's my concern, is the contract situation, because next season we're going to have the same situation about McAllister. He'll have 2 years left on his contract. We've already seen rumours about Real Madrid, stuff like that. It's going to be people aren't going to be interested in Ryan Gravenberch, etc. Because they're going to be going after this season. There'll be 2 years left, so we're going to be back to the same point again. So this is where, for me, that's the only thing I really would change, is the contract situation, because how much are we offering our players? Konate is one of the best centre-backs in world football, was one of the best centre-backs in the league last season, and he's on 70 grand a week. Sack your agent. Luis Diaz, sack your agent. He's on 55 grand a week.
But I could kind of counter that, because obviously that's from Liverpool in terms of business. That's bloody brilliant, because we've got bang average players that are earning truckloads of money. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're actually, I think, stuttering in the market because wages of sin. That's what we've got. So I feel like what you guys do, I don't know, man. I mean, yes, sack your agent. I mean, you definitely got that argument right. Professional footballers in this day and age, but at the same time, from a business sense in Liverpool, that's brilliant. Like, we've got Zinchenko on 150k. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's brilliant business, but when it gets down to the 1 or 2 years left of the contract,
yeah.
And Konate reportedly wants 200 grand a week, which I think is fair enough, because Chiesa is on 150, by the way. Darwin Núñez is on 140.
Wow.
So you've got two players that just barely kicked a ball for us last season, and they're collecting, that's combined 300 grand a week. That could be going towards boosting up Konate's contract, boosting up the other players' contracts. So I'm hoping in the next year, the contract situation, we won't have to worry about letting players go for free or going down to the last 2 years, because you're never safe when Real Madrid are about.
No.
And especially when they're interested in Konate, it's just never ending with them.
Well, we got it with Saliba. We got
that one fly in the summer. They just won't go away. They won't leave us alone on the pitch.
Yeah,
they won't leave us alone off the pitch.
Yeah,
it's just like
they've really like sort of kind of formulated that pattern where they'll tap up the players early, run your contract down, because they don't want to pay big transfer fees. They'd rather pay 20-30 million as one lump sum as a sign-on fee, and most players they'd be like, "Yep, I'm coming for that." Bang, bang, bang. I'm playing for Madrid as well, so yeah, man. I mean, Arsenal's definitely. We can relate to that as Arsenal fans, but that's probably so. I mean, like I said, because everything's going so well for you. That's probably like the one main thing that you'd try and change, and I think that's a football problem as well. That that a lot of clubs are gonna face in the coming years. Anything else you can think of while I'm picking your brain?
I won't say necessarily change. It'd be more of a dream. I just hope we get a striker, because this for me, I've said it for some months now. If we get that striker, that is genuinely the final piece to the jigsaw of our team, where we can say each 11 is like, yo, we're happy with. We're happy with our midfield. We're happy with our defense. Our fullbacks, I'm happy with. Goalkeeper, now the forward line. There's nowhere in that starting 11 where I'm like, I could upgrade that position. Do you know? It's now we get to that point where we can improve the bench, add squad depth. Do you know what I mean? So, That will be the 1 point I'm hoping we
Yeah.
resolve this summer.
Yeah, everything's swimming for Liverpool, like I said. So I didn't expect too much out of that question. Big up Quadra in the chat. Big up all the people passing through. Make sure you're hitting the like. Make sure you are subscribing to my guest. Please go and show him some love. Just click the name in the title, take you straight to his channel. Quadra's asking, maybe for you, my guy, Tonali or Gravenberg.
If it is a 6, I'm taking Tonali. I really wanted Tonali when he went to Newcastle.
He's a player.
I thought he was a beast.
Yeah.
I've said for the longest time, I think Newcastle actually have the best midfield in the league. In terms of all-round ability, just natural midfield that actual gels.
Yeah.
Tonali, you've got Bruno Guimaraes, then you've obviously got Joe Linton.
Yeah.
It might not be the fanciest looking midfield, as a lot of fans would say, oh, it's not fancy. It does the job, and I think it's the best. Actually, you could argue it's genuinely one of the best midfields in the league, if not the best.
In terms of cohesion, absolutely. That's a great point, bro.
But as a player, I would say Gravenberg's been better.
Of course. He's done wonders for you last season, man. Let's be honest. I didn't expect that from him. I mean, it just goes to show with Liverpool, and that's why I was talking about slot and competence, because he's gotten the extra 10, the extra 15% out of players, you know. And maybe our manager could bloody learn a thing or two about that. Big up Quaja again. He said McAllister or Bruno Guimaraes. Like, you're on one today, Quaja. What do you reckon, bro?
Ooh, I think McAllister's top 3, top 4 midfielders in the world, you know.
Ooh, he's definitely a very, very, very...
I really do. I think McAllister's a baller.
Yeah.
I would take Bruno G, but I'd rather spend the money on other areas. I actually think he's going to go to City eventually.
Bruno G?
Yeah.
Well, I think Edu wanted him at one point. Yeah, Edu wanted him at one point, and I don't know what happened there. He ended up going to Newcastle, so I definitely...
That's what happened.
Yeah, you know, Arteta, Mikel Bin Laden. But yeah, I mean that would be a step up for him. I mean, but like I said, I mean, we'll get into some other rivals because that is part of my question as well. We're just rolling from some of the ones from the comments. Big up Hendon in the building. Sorry if it's taken me long to big you up, but you know what it's like when I got a guest. I need to ask them the questions. Thank you for showing patience. Big up Luke Star Killer. He said, "Wow, I've been supporting Liverpool Football Club since 1985. I'll get my coat." Nah, bro. There's no age shaming here. I'm an uncle myself, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, and like I said, I like to have people old and young just to prove that, you know, logic is logic. It doesn't matter about your age. There's people older than me that see my club go invincible and do doubles. They should know better. You know what I mean? And Liverpool doing their thing at the moment, man. But yeah, big up Hendon. Like I said, big up Quaja. Big up Mr. Battered, another Liverpool fan. Big up Views. Big up Footy Reacts. What a top bloke. You never walk alone. Big up, man. Big up each and every time. Big up Footy Reacts and your dad each and every time. May he rest in peace. Man says, sit down, you ain't going nowhere. Yeah, this is a Liverpool show today, man. Big up Hendon, big up Battered, big up AJ. Big up all the people inside, man. Keep smashing that like, and please get any questions you have in for my guests, because we are going to get to that section very, very soon. I'm just seeing if there's anything else worth talking about at the minute. Liverpool already strengthened by getting rid of Trent. Let me ask you about that. That's a good segue. And big up Wahaha. Let me ask you about Trent. You know, how you felt about the whole thing. Do you think he's going to succeed at Madrid? Do you think that Liverpool is strengthened now that he's gone?
I'll start with how I feel. For me, how I feel about Trent is, I'm going to pull it simple. I don't like the way he went about it.
Right.
For a lad that said it meant everything, about the football club, it means more, this and that, wants to become the next Steven Gerrard. For me, he led the fans down the garden path and lied. It's as simple as that. Yeah. If it was any sort of different player, I wouldn't really have an issue. But the fact that he's come from the academy and he says all these type of things, speaking to Real Madrid behind our back, stuff like that, it just doesn't really sit well with me.
Yeah.
There was times where he tried to shut down the argument of him going to Real Madrid. I remember we played West Ham away, started doing all this celebration, when all the rumours started coming out saying him about Real Madrid. So he's trying to think, oh, if I do this celebration, it'll get the noise down a bit, get the fans talking again. For me, it's more about his brother. who I've got more of an issue with when it's come to the whole situation. His
Mm.
agent going to our games, laughing about when we're losing at the cup final. When we lost in the cup final and Trent missed the game, he was sat in his seat just borderline laughing. It's meant to be a Liverpool fan, by the way.
Wow.
When we're 2-0 down,
Yeah.
to Newcastle.
Mm.
His brother's been like taking the piss out of like food companies and stuff, something like along the lines of that in Liverpool. When it's come to like when we all know what food banks and stuff like that mean to the city of Liverpool, and he's out here like dismising all that sort of things.
Wow.
Like he's got an agency company with like the likes of I think Robertson's included in there, Nat Phillips is included in there. Just the way he's gone about it, the whole family, I just think it's very ratty. And
Yeah.
then now at the end of the season, you want to be on all in the spotlight
Mm.
of let me hold the trophy on the parade on that last strip in the city of Liverpool. He won't let the trophy go, and it's like because he knows the cameras are going to constantly be on him,
Yeah.
not wanting to do interviews. I don't care if you're not vice captain or not,
Yeah.
right? People like players who have not even involved in the contract situation stepped up and spoke about Trent Alexander-Arnold, but he didn't.
He
He's
did.
meant to be the vice captain, the boy from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Oh, it means more, this, and that. And then the fact learning Spanish behind our back. I don't think you learn all that in an overnight, mate. None
Although
of
I
this,
have
you
seen,
learn it in 2-3 months.
yeah, I have seen what are they saying, he was somewhere else and they said, oh, shall we speak in Spanish? And he was like, no, no, no. So I don't know, he might have just learned that particular, but I get it. I was having a laugh about that as well. And you're right, bro. You know, and that's what I say about my manager. Just I don't know, just don't say nothing at all. If you're not gonna say nothing good, then just don't say nothing at all. But it was definitely in the works. And for me, as an outsider, it's like even when I think you guys had like your players re-signing and they were signing 5-year deals and he signed a 4. I'm like, do you know what I'm saying? Like this is what Real Madrid do. This is why I'm worried about Saliba, because he's obviously got 2 years left and we're kind of going through the same things as you. But obviously to address the question, do you feel like that Liverpool as a team has strengthened with his departure?
In terms of creativity wise, yes.
Mm.
In terms of creativity wise, we brought in Frimpong, we brought in Kirkes, who's a creative left back. Florian Wirtz, arguably one of the best 10s in world football.
Yeah.
So we had no choice but to replace that creativity. And I said for a long time, we don't need to go and get a creative right back, to replace what Trent Alexander-Arnold does. We don't have to. We can go and get one of the best 10s in world football in Florian Wirtz to replace his creativity, who's arguably better on that side of the pitch.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with the signing of Frimpong. I think Frimpong is a good signing in terms of helping Mohamed Salah, getting him closer to goal, because he'll be able to use the pace and power and the pressing that he can use, because we want Mo Salah fit for the next 2 years that we've got him.
Yeah.
We know his pace is starting to go. So we want him arguably closer to goal than arguably further out on the right. So that's why I think we brought in Frimpong, to be able to use that ability, because he can play anywhere literally on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the reasons why we signed Frimpong. So I'm very happy with that. I think Conor Bradley is going to be a star if he can stay fit, because there is injury problems. If Conor Bradley can stay fit, I won't have no questions or worries about the right back position. It's more about, can he stay fit? Is he just going through growing pains and stuff like that players do? That naturally happens. Time will tell, obviously, over the next probably year or two.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy with the signing of Frimpong in that area, and the replacement of the creativity that Trent has left.
With Wirtz, yeah. I'm surprised you never went for Aina. I swear this guy's on a free, man. I'm surprised my club ain't going for Aina, because
I think he's signing a new deal with Forest.
Is that confirmed? Yeah. Okay.
Because I remember when I started doing a show I spoke about Aina. I contacted a Forest fan and stuff, and I said, "Oh, what's the latest on Aina and stuff like that?" I wanted to get his thoughts and opinions, because I remember there was a link regarding him to Liverpool, and he was like, from what he knows, he looks like he's signing a new contract because it's a club option. So
right. Fair play.
I don't know if he signed it now. I haven't seen anything since, but
yeah. I just saw that he was on a free with Tariq Mitchell as well, left back. I mean, not like a world beater, but competent at his job, and I'm surprised that they haven't been snapped up. I didn't see any kind of confirmation that he'd re-signed, but I hadn't seen any confirmation that he'd gone anywhere either. So I just thought that was a great option. And then to see you rock up with Frimpong, that come out of left field, I was like, okay, that's good, that's good. I personally think, yeah, you know, I think you probably have strengthened with his departure, to be honest, and especially a player that don't want to play for your club. That's always the worst as well.
100%.
Yeah.
To answer one of your questions about do I think he'll do well at Madrid?
Yeah.
I think he will if he has the mentality and mindset. Because if he can't take it from the British media when he can't defend and he gets caught defending, what's he going to have when the Madridistas are booing him at half-time, booing him in Champions League semi-finals? Don't forget, they're not going to give a toss. He's an English player.
Yeah.
They've seen English players come here before and they booed him and give him slack.
Yeah.
So if he's not got the mentality and the mindset about him, I think that will eat him up. Because we've seen him eat him up at times here in England. Those guys will turn up to your house with pitchforks. Like they have no filter. They don't care.
I love
if I'm him, then look, I don't really care if he does well or not. He's not welcome back here. If he thinks he can come back in a couple of years if it flops, no, he's not a Liverpool player anymore. So
I think he's lost up his chance with definitely coming back as well, 100%. And that's a great point. Sorry, go on. Sorry, carry on, mate.
For me, like, I only care if we come up against Madrid, which I just know they're going to give us next season at home, because it creates all the headlines. Trent returns to Anfield, all this and that.
Yeah.
And they already know what Liverpool Real Madrid does, because like they know the history between the two clubs over the past couple of years. And with Canate now, so they're thinking, oh yeah, Canate, new deal, blah blah. They did it last year, so I can already see that happening when the draw happens.
Yeah. That's gonna be crazy as well. Big up Luke Star Killer said, Footy Reacts TV, don't you dare look up or follow Money Penny, Zippy, Pink Eye, and all the other mutants. But these are Arsenal people though, so I don't know if he will.
That's far.
Yeah, carve your own honest path. You'll go far. Yeah, he's a Liverpool fan, my guy. So he's not going to look up these guys anyway. But pick yourself up. Big up Mr. Battered. He's laughing at Wahaha. Big up Chinks Faze in the building. Make sure you guys are subscribing to Chinks as well. I did WhatsApp you, my guys, so I don't know if it's disappeared or what. Let me know when you can come and do your Under the Lens, and we will get that going. He's saying big up Mr. Battered, Mr. Robbo, AJ. Hope everyone is well. Big yourself up, my guy. Make sure you subscribe into Chinks. Get his link in the channel, mods. Get Footy Reacts link in the channel. Also, click on the name in the title, and that will bring you there. Champions League. Obviously, when you're Liverpool and you're kind of spending how you are and kind of assembling the squad that you have, it's only kind of right to say that you'd be confident, you know what I mean, as one of the teams, as one of the favorite teams to win it next year. Is that how Liverpool fans feel?
100%. Like, obviously, we already know we've got the pedigree and the heritage in Europe alone. For me, I see us as third favourites right now for the champs. So I would argue you can make us maybe favourites if we sign Alexander Isak. I think if you sign Isak, I think you can make a genuine case why we would be favourites. But for me, Paris Saint-Germain are still the favourites by some way. And I feel like they're a team that's just only going to get better. You know, I don't think this is just a one-off, a couple of months for them. I think they're going to slowly get better. We've had, waiting to see what players they could potentially bring in the transfer window. So I'll always back Liverpool in the Champions League, 100%. There's no reason why I shouldn't. I've seen some unbelievable comebacks in my lifetime alone. to say why we couldn't even make a genuine case. But I would still have PSG above us. Barcelona, probably still have them. I'd actually have Barcelona as second favourites.
I'd like to see them to, sorry to just cut in, I'd like to see them to actually play. That was the final that I think we should have probably
played. We deserved it. And obviously you can never write off Madrid, obviously. And obviously the likes of Bayern and stuff. So for me, I have us down as third favourites. If we can go and get a clinical, proper gunman number 9. So
we are going to get into that. Because I'm hearing the rumours. I'm hearing that the money is there. And I am like, if I was a cat, it would be furball time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is absolutely sickening. because I feel like my club's just getting left behind. But I'll get into a couple of these comments quickly. Luke Starkiller saying Liverpool is doing what Fergie did for years, adding pieces here and there, strengthening while at the top. And I say it on my channel all the time: you strengthen from a place of strength, not when you're desperate and everyone
That's
knows
why
you.
Man City do so well.
And you know, I hate footy reacts when everyone says it's not Football Manager, it's not fit. Well, it is really and truly, because look at the prime example: Tim Pot Chelsea and Tim Pot City before they got the money. They were all right, but they were cup teams. Do you know what I'm saying? And if you want to stay at the top, you've got to keep spending. If you want the best in class, you have to pay for it. You know, there's no way to avoid that. So, what's your thoughts on that, bro? In terms of the money and, you know, best in class and just trying to stay at the top of the game, bro.
I've always said a club the size of Man City, Liverpool, United, and Arsenal alone, they should be doing 150, 100 million every summer.
Every summer, bang.
Doesn't matter if your squad is perfect, 10 out of 10, because you can. There's always areas to improve in the bench. There's always potential areas to improve, you know, for the future planning of the football club. So those four clubs in particular should be spending 150 to 100 every summer, no matter what. If you won the treble or if you won a league or anything like that, because that's why you stay on top.
Yeah.
You know, why do you think Man City have won 4 in a row, won a treble? Because they spend money every single year, because they've got the ambition.
Facts. Well said, my bro. Well said. And there you go. From a team that's got their big boy pants on right now, we're still looking in the draw for ours. Ours are still in the wash, like the dog ate them. We don't know.
Kepa, though.
Bro, we're gonna get into it. I've been trying not to talk about it, bro. I'm trying to focus on Liverpool, bro. Why on earth are we constantly in Chelsea's bin? This is what I don't understand, bro. This is what I call. Hold on. Where is it? This is Arteta when it's time for transfers and Chelsea. Get me Chelsea. Yeah, that is Arteta. And see how he was jumping. That's what they're trying to sell us on Sesko. He can jump 6 feet in the air. Are we trying to buy a kangaroo? I don't understand what's going on. But this is, again, I don't know what it is. I say to my chat, yeah, maybe Chelsea, maybe they've got some compromising pictures on some of our board members, because every time there's an opportunity to help these guys out, the good Samaritans at Arsenal,
it's mad,
bro. Kepa, and then people are starting to try and justify it. I'm going to go into it a little bit more in the intervention, because I'm going to bring up like Egal's tweets and things like that. You're out here trying to
Egal, man.
This is what we're fighting against, my bro. This is what we're fighting against. You know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely crazy, bro. Let me not even talk about it. Let me try and stick with Liverpool. Let's try and talk about this striker thing now, because you were saying something that you guys have been linked with Gyökeres, what, as of today, maybe?
I literally, before we went live, I just saw pop through my phone. Someone just tweeted about Liverpool interest in Gyökeres, something. Dave O'Seacop tweeted it, so I've not had a chance to like read the article, the tweet, but it came through as a notification, and I've had a few people came through a notification about Gyökeres. I think someone in the chat just mentioned about Gyökeres with Darwin plus cash or something.
Oh my god. Every time on Streamlabs I bloody lose the chat, so I'm gonna go back up and see if I can catch up with it. But yeah, bro, as an Arsenal fan, this is what I say I don't know if you ever watch Stranger Things. Like, we're in the upside down as an Arsenal, as a club, as fans. We're in the upside down. We've got Spurs winning majors. Sorry, go on, bro, go on. You're just gonna say.
I do feel sorry for the Arsenal fans that actually want to win, like yourselves, like your league gunners, the rest of them out there. Because when I do watch a bit of football YouTube, and when I watch football YouTube and I'm watching like League Gunner streams and I'm seeing people saying he's negative and stuff. Yeah. Theoretically, if he wanted views and subs, and like yourself, if you wanted more views and subs, being positive gets you more views and subs. I mean, just take that Henry Talks Bollocks, for example. You know, apparently Arsenal have been trying to sign Nico Williams for the past 5 years. I mean, surely by now they would have been, here we go, no?
Bro, he's made more Arsenal videos on his channel than Spurs, and he's a Spurs fan. This is what I'm saying. So like I said, my guy, we're in the upside down. that, you know, we got rivals of every team just grifting and hustling off my club. Whatever. The game's the game. I'm never gonna try and police what people do on the internet, because you can't. It's always going to be undefeated. But this is the life that we live. And then we've got the other side of it. This is why, you know, you guys, like I said, got your big boy pants on, showing all the ambition, showing what you're supposed to be doing from a position of strength. And all we've got is the apologists and the enablers and the people that fancy Mikel Arteta. It's really, really, really frustrating, my guy, because like I said, I'm 41 years of age, bro. I was born in 1984. I've seen my club win. This is not what I'm used to. Do you know what I mean? So and they call us cultists, but I'm happily gonna take that on. I'm part of the cult. I am, because I'm fighting an uphill battle. When you've got people trying to justify Kepa, why? Bournemouth didn't even want him. 5 million. They didn't even want him. And now the 5 million we're gonna pay to them helps them send Sancho back to United. Like, we're forever just, you know,
yeah.
you know, the big friendly giant, bro. Like, what's going on over
Wasn't
there?
Sterling on 300 grand a week and you got him on loan? Am I
Bro?
right?
Yeah. But
Was
we don't
wild.
pay his whole wage.
Oh.
I think we pay just over 100 grand a week of it. But still, we're still helping him out, even up until last year. You know, we've been linked with Nkunku, we've been linked with Madaduki. It's bro, as an Arsenal fan, bro, you know, I don't want to play the victim card, but I feel like I'm just being trampled all over by my club. It's absolutely crazy.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, going back to the striker thing, I mean, do you think there's anything in it with the Jokerit? Do you think there's anything in it with the whole Isak thing? Because just before I let you go, we were talking about Guns, the captain, big up Lee Gunner each and every time. He was tearing apart Terry Flewers yesterday, because, you know, he's taken something from a journalist where they've said that Liverpool have already spent about 200 mil this summer. He's then turned that into Liverpool's got 200 mil to spend on Isak. This is the kind of shit we're dealing with. But as a Liverpool fan, is there any kind of traction to this story? Is there anything behind it?
I think there's 100% something in it, because otherwise I would have seen James Pearce's of these world comes out and shuts it down. So I think there's 100% something in it. I've been long and consistent. We only sign Alexander Isak if Isak has to play a part. You know, I said it for the longest time. It's not about whether Newcastle get Champions League football or win a trophy or not. It's about Isak himself. If Isak says to Newcastle, let's say Liverpool put in a bid or whatever, and he says yes, then I think Newcastle might be open to selling, because they're not going to want to keep a player that's worth over 150 million at the football club. And I've spoken to people when it's come to their type of owners, Saudi owners and stuff like that. That part of the world, they're very ambitious. They want the best in class. They're not going to keep players that don't want to be there. A bad egg, because they know what that can turn out to be.
Yeah.
So if Isak pushes for the move, which depends on what you define as pushing for the move, because you don't really see transfer requests anymore. You know, those kind of days are gone. So I think we sign Isak whether he has to put a bit of a move in himself. I don't think it can just simply be Liverpool.
Similar to Rodrigo at Madrid.
I think there's more of a chance of us getting Isak than you guys getting Rodrigo, just because why would you want to leave Real Madrid right now?
Yeah.
I think the only way you leave Real Madrid is if Xabi Alonso says, "You know my plans," and he's like, "Okay, fine, cool." But has he said that? That's been an ongoing case for the past couple of months.
No. Yeah.
So surely, if they would want to bring in a replacement or something like that, you would have seen more news on about it by now.
Yeah.
For me, it's the next Nico Williams.
Yeah.
You know, everyone tried to trick the whole world into Nico Williams. Rodrigo's that next guy. Then there'll be someone else. Someone else rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
So I don't think any of them will happen, but I do think Isak will go next summer.
And one thing I will say is, because people are like, why would Isak leave Newcastle and go to Liverpool? They're both in the Champions League. It doesn't matter. Liverpool looking like they're going to go back to back. Liverpool just won the title. Like, the only two clubs in the league is City and Liverpool that aren't a sideways step, because they're always going to be favourites for the title. They're always going to be favourites in the domestic cups in terms of the pool of teams to win it, and in the Champions League as well. It's not a sideward step. If he used to come to Arsenal now, then that is a sideward step. Maybe not last season, the season before, or the one before that, but definitely now. So that's one thing I will say. But if you guys get ease at, man, it's honestly it's game the fuck over. Like you guys will be winning, I think, for years to come, to be honest with you, depending on what Man City do, but it will definitely put you well ahead of Arsenal, in my opinion. Big up Hendon, he's saying, Luke, strengthening from a position of strength is always good. Never rest on one's laurels. Yeah, you're seeing it now from Liverpool. Luke saying, Hendon, exactly. Fergie wanted it bad, and that showed with trophies. That's the whole point of the game. Mr. Battered, another Liverpool fan, said, Footy reacts to be fair. The contract renewal situation was messed up because Hughes and Edwards weren't there the year before, and Klopp was getting ready to leave. Uncertainty was rife 18 months ago. Yeah, what do you think about that, bro? I think it's all sorted out now. I think things are looking good.
Yeah. Yeah, hence why I said I gave him a pass for the Trent and stuff situation, because they literally just came in and they already had they had about 10 months to go. So I gave him a pass on that situation. That hence why I said the only concern would be what's it going to be like in a year's time when the McAllisters get down to 2 years. That's when, for me, there'd be kind of no excuse, because you would have had 2 full seasons to kickstart your regime in that contracts department. So that for me, that would be the only question I'll have to the football club right now into the next year or two.
Yeah, very well put. Big up Gavin L in the building. Nice to have you here, my bro. Hope you're well today. Hendo is saying, Luke, it is how a proper big club moves. Yeah, Arsenal are a fugazi. Absolutely, bro. Like we're one of those, the old school G's. Like, oh, you remember when I used to run the block? That kind of stuff. That's what we're like, bro. Like we have to get into the TARDIS to have good times. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, to see a major, we have to step into the TARDIS, bro. Like you might even be too young to know what that is. Doctor Who reference, I'm not sure, but my uncles will know what it is. Big up Hendo. Big up Aunt Dicko in the building. Kelleher was on 10 grand a week. My God.
Yeah, Jones was on 15.
Fucking hell. When you look at Arsenal, bro, like Raya's on, what's Raya on? Just under 100k. I think Kepa's only 5 grand under what Raya's going to be on as a backup goalkeeper. Like, make it make sense, man.
Because Liverpool reward their players. Man City reward their players. If you do well, we'll give you a pay rise on what you work.
Incentive-based contracts.
Yeah. So, like, if you help us play a massive role in us winning a Champions League or a Premier League, and you have done for consistently, we will reward you with a contract. Doesn't matter how good you are. If we don't feel like you're not coming in straight away and earning top dog wages, you got to earn for it. And that's why our mentality and the mindset around our football club is so good, because players want to come in and get that hunger. So to think, oh, if I win trophies at the football club, not only that, I'm actually going to get a really nice wage as well. And that's where you see the same with Manchester City. Yeah. And that's one of the things where Arsenal going wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. We're terrible. Like I always say, we got Ronald McDonald doing our business. So now when people say to me now, oh, this and that to save money or this and that for money, it's like, don't tell me about money reasons, because we've been moving like there's a hole in our bucket for years. Arteta spent all this money on mediocre players, bro, and the wages are killing us. He's died on that Kai Havertz hill. You know what I mean? He absolutely died on it. Like, so Liverpool, like I said, it's just competent business. That's all I see when I look at you guys at this moment in time. Big up Everest, another Liverpool fan. You'll never walk alone. Big up Everest, man. Hope you're good. Make sure you're subscribing to my guest. Everest, he is a Liverpool fan. All the Liverpool fans in here, subscribe to my guest. Big up Mr. Robbo. Nice to see you in here, my guy. Sorry I haven't bigged you up just yet. I hope you're well. Let's get Mr. Robbo's link in the chat as well. Another content creator. Make sure you show him some love. New sub Keller Gobble. Yeah. I just read that before. That's absolutely crazy. Hendo, Arteta don't get it at all. He's building his legacy at Arsenal's expense, not the other way around. Great point, because we're improving him. He'll go on to a decent job after Arsenal, no matter what. But if he was just to have left City as their cone man, who knows where he would have been right now? Do you know what I mean? Big up the assembled. Big yourself up today. Blunderman, that's what he calls Arteta. Blunderman's opening statement. Excuse me. He was going to change the culture of the club. Yeah, he's turned us into Shoreditch now. That's what he's done. He's turned us into a reality show. Like we've got a dog. We have actually got a reality show pending. You can find love. You know what I mean? Like our club.
That Love Island thing.
Bro, our club is a joke, bro.
Oh my God.
Is anything like that going on in Liverpool, bro? Find love in at Liverpool?
No, we have Our club is well drilled. As simple as that. We're not looking to earn a pound note by getting on some 15-year-old hipsters on TV.
And
Do
all
you know
we
what I
do
mean?
is buy models, my bro. That's all we do. Calafiori ain't a footballer, bro. These guys, like, what are we doing? Like, we bring out so much merch. It's crazy. And all I say for my club is, if we are the spicy Spurs, then just tell us, and then we can decide how we want to
I'd
support.
argue Tottenham's spicy Spurs was actually better than this era of Tottenham. I mean, this era of Arsenal. They actually got to a Champions League final, cup finals, semi-finals. It was in a title race, but they didn't get it alone. If you actually compare that 5-year period, they spent considerably amount of less money, and there was a lot more, probably you could argue, competitive in all rounds of the cup competitions.
So take that in, Arsenal fans, because these all our fan base does is just enable and make excuses for. It's really, yeah. But you're right. The Assemble definitely changed the culture of the club. As we are now consistently not competing, even though we are second. Or is that what you said? This arrow always gets in my way, man. Even though we are, yeah, he's changed what needed adding to what he's done. Yeah, since you found a formula in 22-23, and all you had to do is tweak that. Do you know what I mean? And you've just just flushed it down the toilet. You've gone ultra defensive. For me, when I look at my club, I'm like, what's the idea? What's the philosophy? I don't see it. We're doing long throws in semi-finals, like playing like Stoke. So he's just so scared. He's more scared to lose than he's brave to win.
You're about to sign another rugby player in from that guy from Brentford.
Oh yeah. No. Oh, anyway, go on. Sorry, go on, bro.
So, I feel from a Liverpool standpoint of view, without bantering, when it comes to Arsenal, I've said it for the longest time. It's not about the players you got at the football club. It's about the manager, the mentality, and the mindset.
Yeah.
And there was a particular game last season when I watched Arsenal in the title race as to why I can't take them ever seriously. Do you remember when you played Man United away? You went 1-0 down. Declan Rice scored. Very good goal. World class, yeah. Why did he jump into the corner flag and doing star jumps and all that? You just scored against a team in 15th. We scored against a relegation team last season. We was 1-0 down, made it 1-1. What did? We picked the ball up and took it back to the centre circle and go and get another one.
Yeah.
And that's where the managers should be drilling that into the players. Like, what are you doing? Get the ball back. Like, you've not just scored an equaliser in the Champions League final. You've scored against Manchester United. Whoopie-doo.
What did he do? Well put, bro. Well put. And this is the thing that we get. And then he also and they see what's online as well, because the next time he scored after that, he was all trying to act like he ain't gonna celebrate because the fans are the celebration police. But no,
Over my dead body and stuff like that. Okay,
you're
mate. Where's
literally
the
looking at
mentality and mindset?
If you didn't know zombies exist, you're looking at one. He said, "Over my dead body." Where was our title charge, bro? Man United were top of the league for one day more than we was. And then trying to say we're in a title, like, come on, man. Absolutely,
It's
come
one
on.
of the reasons why he wants players like your Benjamin Sesko's, because he knows the hipster, super duper Mikel Arteta fans will be behind him thinking, oh, we signed Benjamin Sesko, we didn't do this and do that. That's one of the reasons why he doesn't want the top quality players, because he knows there's pressure on him to deliver. Do you know?
Facts. And it gives him more excuses if he gets
exactly
best man and things like that. Yeah. Great, well put. Big up Zero. Welcome back in. He said, I do not get Liverpool are trying to offload players at such cheap prices. Kelleher, I think, only had a year left on his deal. He's someone that
Kelleher, though, we did that to help Leverkusen because Flecken was going there. So
it was like
we did that to basically, if it helped us get Florian Wirtz over the line, we don't mind missing out on 10 mil.
Like, if Arsenal came in for Kelleher, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have been sold for 18 million, even with his deal.
We could have sold him for like 40, 45 in January to Chelsea. So
yeah, even with a year left on his deal, that's how good Kelleher is. Like, I don't disagree on that one bit. But big up Zero Requiem. I hope I've said your name right. Big yourself up, my bro. Thank you for passing through. Hendo is Fugazi, Donny Brascott. Yeah, bro, it really is. Does anyone know if Leon's women's team will face the same punishment as the men's? Definitely not. But look, Man City ain't going to face that punishment. Their money's too long. It's going to embarrass the Premier League too much. Like, if they were going to face that punishment, I don't think from January this year to June They've spent nearly 400 million in 6 months. Like, we ain't even gonna spend that. Like, anyway, but that ain't gonna happen to them. But I don't know. What do you reckon? Do you reckon it's gonna affect the women's team as well?
I've not really seen too much regarding the Leon situation. Like, I know that there's obviously they came out last night. They've been relegated, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've not really done too much digging as to. I know they obviously got money issues, hence why they've had to let a lot of their players go for cheap, which I think we're going to make a move probably Malik Fofana
Okay.
at Leon. So because now he's relegated, so
Yeah.
you'd assume that they'll sell him for cheap because he's a player that we've been after on the left wing. So
Man City's probably a bit pissed as well, isn't it? Because they just got Cherky, and then they probably might have got him for cheaper. No, was
yeah.
do you know? So that's pretty crap. But even still, 35 million euros for Cherky, I would have bit your hand off. I don't understand what my club's doing. Big up Kwaja. He's asking what you think of the fan base. I think we've kind of answered that a little bit, but you can kind of elaborate on it again if you want quickly.
It sinks in from the fan base.
Yeah.
You know, like this whole it's a togetherness, it's a family. No. You win trophies and that's it. You go home.
Yeah.
You go to the football to watch your team. You know, sing a couple of chants, win football matches and win trophies. Not to become a family and all. It's about the journey and this and that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like me with uni. If I don't end up getting my degree, but the journey was great. No, it's about the end goal, what you get at the end.
Exactly. Great put.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I might have had a good couple of memories along the way, but ultimately, in 10 years' time, I'll be like, so you went to uni, yeah? Did you get your degree? No. What matters is that you pick up what you want at the end.
Well put. AJ says, question, please. Footy reacts. If you do pull off Isaac, do you believe the treble could be possible?
I feel like trebles and quadruples are always difficult to do. But if we sign Alexander Isak, I do think we win the Premier League and have a really, really good shot at the Champions League. Arguably, like I said, top two, arguably maybe top favourites if we pull off Isak.
Yeah. Scary, mate. That's all I'll say. Big up YouTube. Censors are free speech. Unless we get Gyökeres, I'm giving up my season ticket to my cousin and going with my girls to watch Arsenal women. It's Gyökeres or bust for me. I get it, bro. I get it. And the thing is, it still looks like we don't even know who we want. That's what's pissing me off more than anything. Like, if you do want Sesko, just make it happen then. You've been saying you've been after him for years. Not that I want him, but I'm just tired of the waiting. You know what I mean? And you know
that goes back to the mentality. Mikel Arteta doing all these speeches at the end of the season. Yeah, we're going to tackle the transfer market. Yeah, we're going to do this and do that. All I've seen is pictures of him on a beach kissing his bloody wife.
And some fans are like, "Ain't he allowed to have a holiday?" No, you're not. I'm sorry, unless you're telling us that Berta's doing everything, and the club said he's on holiday because Berta's taking the wheel now. Say less. Go on holiday, enjoy. But
I think it's going to turn nasty then next season with them too.
Do you know
because,
what?
for example, let's say you guys do get from an outside. I don't know what it is like. I'm not today as with Arsenal as obviously Arsenal fans, but from the outside looking in, it's to look like Berta wants Gyökeres and Arteta wants Sesko.
Yeah.
If Arteta gets Sesko flops, I can see them two, you know, because it's looked a bit tense between them. You know, you've not really seen pictures together. You've not seen them, you know, do interviews, press conferences, like all those sort of things that you see. I feel like Arteta's slightly shook by him a little bit. As to why I think it's probably taking a longer time, because he knows if he gets it wrong, he's out the door. I think this is the last chance of the saloon for him. He should have been sacked 2 years ago, in my opinion. But if I was a Liverpool fan, I wouldn't even want him in the first place. Like, you're replacing an iconic manager in Arsene Wenger. Bring in what's his name, Emery, and then you go and get some Novi. Never even managed before.
Yeah, a cone man.
It's meant to be the third biggest club in England. I'd expect it from a Crystal Palace, not Arsenal.
Well, there you go. And well put. And that's what he thinks. And this is a young man, from a rival fan base. This is what I'm trying to say, Arsenal fans. Big up E Ross, Mama Maybach music. Big yourself up, my bro. He's in the building. We have gone over the hour. So what I will do is, sorry for all the people that have missed your comments. Let me just ask you quickly about your channel, about what you're doing over there, about what people can maybe look forward to, and stuff you might have coming up, my bro.
So right now I'm just right now I'm obviously I've just finished uni, my first year. So
Well done.
right now I'm just kind of doing bits and bobs on my YouTube channel. Right now I'm just doing transfers and Liverpool related news. I do other clubs, but not like daily. So let's say, for an example, like Arsenal do sign a Sesko, I'll do a video reacting to it, for an example.
Yeah.
You know, they're this type of things I will do for other clubs. I just do like little bits of reaction news, giving my thoughts and feelings. For Liverpool content, right now it's just news and transfers. But come the new season, I've got like a whole new spreadsheet of plans and ideas that a lot of YouTubers haven't done before. So I think they're really, really good ideas, but I won't say too much on them. But I think a lot of people might be surprised at the kind of concept of idea, and I won't be surprised if some people nick it, to be honest, because that's what people do in this day and age. So
they do. There's nothing original under the sun, my guy. There's nothing original under the sun. But what I will say to you, especially for a young man doing the content creating and stuff like that, just it gets to me, it gets to everyone. You know, Shane, Lee, they've all just said, don't even watch the numbers, don't watch anything like that. Just keep consistent, keep being you, and it will shine through. And they also say that imitation is the best form of flattery. So, I know that I've kind of influenced a lot of stuff that I see as well from the people that I watch, and I don't take it badly. I just, like I said, I take it like it's cool. We're all gang, we're all community. So yeah, man, hopefully it all goes well for you, especially going into next season. You got anything that you're doing in the next couple of days that people can look out for?
In terms of content wise, not really, but in terms of personal life, I've got a few nice plans. Going to a Peaky Blinders 50th party on the weekend, so there will be no content on Saturday because I'll probably be heavily smashed. But in terms of other Liverpool related content, I will be doing some of the Club World Cup games. I might do a few of those. I've done a few. Some of them have been like, oh my god, these are so dead.
Yeah.
And the stream and all that.
Yeah.
But I will be doing some of the knockouts of
when it gets a bit more tasty. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. When it gets a little bit more tasty, then we will we'll see if we can do one or two watch alongs, man. But like I said, my bro, it's been an absolute pleasure. I don't mean to cut it short, but I've literally got a next stream in like 5 minutes. I'm probably going to be late for it, so don't blame me, gang. Been an absolute pleasure, man. Thank you for coming on. This has been your Under the Lens Footy Reacts TV, everyone.
Big up, bro.
Big up, man. Round of applause. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure that you are subscribing to my guests and showing them all the love in the world. That's what we like to do over here as a community. Big up Phoenix. I see you. Like I said, I'm probably, I can't, let me see who we can try and send you guys on to. I think Deluded's live.
Make sure all the people in the chat give a like on this stream as well.
Yeah, man. Big up.
Subscribe, man.
Big up, man. Definitely appreciate that.
Try and get you to 2K subs, bro, like you deserve.
Man, we're trying, man. But big up, man. Like I said, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on as well. I should really try and send everyone over to what I'm doing. So why can't I bloody see it? There we go. So yeah, so go and hit some early likes on the stream coming up, people. I am going to be a few minutes late just while I resituate myself, but we are back with the intervention. Big up Footy Reacts each and every time. Please make sure you subscribe to the broski. Thank you ever so much, everyone, and we will see you again soon, man. Big up.
Take care of yourself, bro.
Nice one, bro. Nice one.